constantly got something to say to me. Like, bro, get off my, like, plain and simple, bro. Get off, bro. Go about your business, bro. If you want to fight me, we could fight. If it ain't that, what are you talking about me for? Why you always got my name in your mouth, bro?
Teofimo Lopez recently attacked Shakur Stevenson, accusing him of choosing a soft opponent after reports confirmed Stevenson WBC lightweight title defense would be against part-time electrician Josh Padley. At first, Stevenson was scheduled to protect his belt versus Floyd Schofield Jr. on the Artur Beterbiev against Dimitri Bivol 2 undercard in Saudi Arabia, but that matchup collapsed after Schofield Jr. was ruled medically unfit by the British Boxing Board of Control.
Shakur said last week that Schofield was going to pull out. Shakur said a month ago during the press conference he wouldn't be shocked if Floyd pulled out. And then just breaking, the Ring magazine is reporting
Lopez showed zero restraint with his words, blasting Stevenson for what he believes is a strategic decision to protect the title, while avoiding danger, saying this guy always searches for the simplest escape route. Still, a section of fans views this matchup as a last-minute replacement rather than Shakur deliberately choosing a soft challenge, which makes sense considering the fight night is only hours from unfolding.
Be like, oh, I think I could beat him because he got out the ring and said I was the greatest fighter he got in the ring with. That was his exact words. He DM'd me, said, bro, you better than everybody I ever seen, this, that, and the third. So he remembered, like...
Josh Padley, a former Central Area champion, has never faced anyone close to Stevenson level, even though he sat ranked number 12 by the WBC after his September victory over Mark Chamberlain at Wembley Stadium. Despite limited experience, at elite class, WBC President Mauricio Suleiman confirmed Padley qualifies to challenge for the lightweight world title. Teofimo, never one to soften opinions, reinforced his stance on Stevenson defense, saying this guy talks big. But when action calls, he chooses, carefully asking who Padley even is. Some weekend fighter with a toolbox, adding fans are not foolish. They recognize this situation as a joke.
Teofimo Lopez. Another easy fight. The problem with him is he's too delusional to go in the gym and fix his mistakes. So
the drama twisted further when Floyd Schofield Jr., father Floyd Schofield Sr., made shocking claims, saying his son had been poisoned before the bout was scrapped. Schofield Sr. insisted Floyd would recover fully, and even said someone tried to end his life, though he later clarified that no accusations were directed at Stevenson camp. The remarks only intensified the chaos. Teofimo rejected every explanation, stating poisoned or not, Schofield was prepared to give Stevenson a genuine challenge. Lopez added that now Shakur is sheltering behind a late replacement who poses no threat at all, calling the entire situation an absolute joke.
Breaking news, and it's bad. Floyd Schofield is out of the Shakur Stevenson fight, canceled. This is not a test.
Padley's sudden arrival at this stage feels like a true boxing fairy tale. Even with his reputation as a part-time electrician and no history of major spotlight bouts, he is focused on maximizing this unexpected chance at greatness. Speaking on the moment, Padley explained that if roles were reversed, he would already be training non-stop, and if his weight was close, then he would step in without hesitation. He added that he respects the situation, but would absolutely take the same risk himself. Padley has always dreamed of becoming a full-time fighter, yet money realities forced him to keep a job outside the ropes. After defeating Chamberlain, he was back at work within weeks, saying everything depends on what opportunities come next, just like this one.
And Shakur, man, he lost it. He lost it, man. He lost to Rumor Villa, and then he wanted to go up to one of the... I think he did. Wanted to the rooftop of the hotel, and he wanted to jump off. I ain't trying to have actual blood on.
He admitted that if major opportunities arrive, he could step away from work again with sponsor support and train full-time for another camp. But for now, he plans to return to his job and pick up his tools after the break, because nothing is guaranteed yet, and he has to stay prepared if things fall through. Lopez ridiculed the idea of Stevenson defending his title against someone like that, asking sarcastically whether fans were witnessing a championship bout or a charity showcase. He said Stevenson supporters should feel embarrassed, comparing it to a lion being matched against a house cat.
I honestly believe that the winner of this is going straight for those big names like Tank.
I think the winner
Ryan.
of this is the big name.
Okay.
You show me all those, we talk about Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. They can't sell 3,000, 4,000. I mean, I don't know what Shakur sold in Vegas. Less than 2,000.
I heard it was 1,800.
Yeah, 1,800.
Despite the backlash, Padley views this bout as a once-in-a-lifetime opening. His blue-collar work ethic and straightforward mindset have already earned respect back home, and he plans to carry that toughness into the ring against Stevenson. Even so many voices inside boxing doubt he can truly compete with one of the division's most gifted fighters, while Stevenson camp stays silent about the late opponent switch. Teofimo Lopez keeps pushing the narrative, saying he faces the world's elite and real danger, while Shakur treats this like routine sparring, adding that it hurts the sport and fans deserve far more.
A-class.
So you, Devin Haney, Shakur.
Devin and Shakur shouldn't even be like mentioned, really,
Why not?
because they not good. One puts you to sleep while the other one can't take a hit.
Padley supporters are leaning fully into the underdog story, as the idea of a part-time electrician stepping into a world title fight has already sparked Rocky-style comparisons across boxing circles. Whether Padley can bring that same movie-style miracle to life inside the ropes is still unknown, but one thing is certain: motivation will not be missing when he faces Stevenson. At the same time, Schofield Jr. continues to recover from whatever caused his withdrawal, yet his father's dramatic claims are still echoing through the sport. Whether Schofield ever gets another shot at Stevenson remains unclear, but Teofimo Lopez insists it will never happen, declaring that Shakur is afraid and unwilling to face real danger, accusing him of retreating to safety and dismissing Padley as a good story rather than a legitimate contender.
With it. So I wish him nothing but success and the best. But you can't. You got to take the cuts, man. This is what it takes. They can only build us for so long.
He said, "Forget it, I am the best, and I will walk away," with everything Teofimo told Fight Hub TV, and that single quote sent shockwaves across boxing. If Teofimo version holds truth, it shows a fighter guarding not only an unbeaten record, but also financial comfort. While Top Rank has not confirmed any enforced pay reduction, the reason such talk surfaced is clear. Shakur bout with De Los Santos reportedly suffered poor ticket turnout at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and the crowd boos were loud and constant. Fans felt let down by Stevenson's approach, as he circled endlessly, relying on defense instead of delivering excitement. Many believe the showing failed to match the level expected from a three-division world champion of his stature. Bob Arum, the leader of Top Rank, revealed that the WBC had actually contacted Stevenson to ask whether he intended to retire, saying they would strip him of a lightweight title if that happened. Arum said Stevenson told them retirement was not on the table, but that discussion alone raised serious questions. Why would the WBC even ask unless there were concerns behind closed doors? Teofimo did not ease up with his criticism, explaining that reaching the highest tier in boxing is not about protecting an unbeaten record, but about risking everything and proving your worth again and again. They can only promote you for so long, Teofimo said, suggesting Shakur is surviving on image instead of delivering elite performances, adding that real greatness requires sacrifice, pain, and taking the hard road, because that is what it truly takes.
Well, it's his last fight with Top Rank, so good riddance. But he just fought a guy that had only 7 KOs. And what was it, 12-1? What was it, his record? Nobody knows, come on, guys.
It's hard to ignore some truth in Teofimo's words. Stevenson, despite all his technical brilliance, has often faced criticism for playing too cautiously. Teofimo argued that had Shakur accepted the rumored pay cut, he could have rebuilt his reputation by taking on tough, dangerous opponents. Names like Raymond Murata come to mind, a fighter who would undoubtedly test Stevenson to his absolute limits. But facing someone like Murata would force Shakur to abandon his defensive approach and embrace the kind of risks fans long to see, letting his hands fly and potentially putting his undefeated record on the line. Teofimo also highlighted the thin line between confidence and arrogance, a line he believes Shakur has been dangerously walking. He referenced Gervonta Davis, nicknamed the businessman, as an example. Is it confidence or cockiness? Teofimo asked, suggesting that the boxing world will soon discover whether Davis is the real deal or just another hype fighter. The message carried an unspoken warning that Shakur could face the same judgment if he fails to prove his substance in the ring soon.
Shakur Stevenson, that's the one you want.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're soft.
Why do you say he's soft?
Because he type too much. He do too much typing, don't do enough fighting.
Interestingly, Teofimo's critique goes beyond Shakur's recent choices, addressing the broader state of boxing. He believes too many fighters prioritize protecting their brands over taking the risks that create true champions. In his eyes, Shakur's rumored refusal to accept a pay cut is just another example of this bigger issue. The controversy intensifies among fans, with Stevenson supporters defending him as one of the sport's most technically gifted boxers, a man who has already proven himself by capturing titles in 3 different weight classes.
Say exactly what we were saying, but you know, just seeing things in the media and videos and stuff like that, and you know, fighters like to bring up things that happen, you know, behind closed doors, but they don't speak on everything that happened. So yeah, you know, I asked for a picture, but this man did tell me not to call him out after.
To some, Teofimo's remarks are simply sour grapes, a way to stay relevant by targeting a rival. But for others, he's voicing what many have quietly thought, that Stevenson's recent performances haven't matched his potential, and that he's avoiding the challenges that would solidify his legacy. Stevenson has yet to respond publicly, and whether he will remain unknown. But one thing is clear, this story is far from finished. If he chooses to come out of retirement or never truly plan to retire, his next steps will face intense scrutiny. Fans and critics alike will watch to see if he can quiet the doubters, prove Teofimo wrong, and remind the world why he's considered one of the best.
When you throw Teofimo, right? Because we ain't talking about Shakur, Haney, and Tank.
Right.
And Frank.
Right.
You throw Teofimo in there though.
Yeah.
135, 140.
Yeah.
I believe though, now my favorite is Shakur, but I think that Teofimo has.
But it wasn't just Teofimo throwing shots at Shakur. Stevenson wasted no time firing back on social media after Lopez's controversial title defense against Jermaine Ortiz in Las Vegas. The judges gave Lopez the win, but it didn't sit right with fans or Stevenson. The wide margin from one judge in particular caused outrage, with social media buzzing as analysts and fans questioned what that judge was even seeing. Stevenson made it clear he felt Lopez's victory was less about skill and more about business, arguing that Teofimo is being protected because he's a marketable fighter and the powers that be don't want to harm his brand. This is a business, Stevenson tweeted. They can't mess with the money, implying Lopez's star power may have swayed the decision.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. I think the bananas and everything they keep doing is like a troll. Like it's something like the internet is attaching themselves to and is making his name more relevant.
The controversy didn't stop there. Stevenson also called out Lopez for his post-fight behavior, particularly how he reacted to the booing crowd. Instead of showing humility or admitting he could have done better, Lopez responded with an expletive and a homophobic slur. Stevenson addressed this too, highlighting the need for honesty and self-awareness in boxing. That's why I get paid what I get paid, Stevenson tweeted. I get on the mic and keep it real. I don't have to act for anyone, and I'm not delusional. When you don't perform your best, admit it and fix it in the gym, my guy. Stevenson also targeted Lopez's struggles against fighters who move well, tweeting, "He can't box movers," pointing out a weakness that Ortiz exploited all night. Ortiz's footwork and constant movement caused Lopez problems from start to finish, and many felt Ortiz deserved the win. This isn't the first time Lopez has been involved in a judging controversy. Back in 2022, he faced Sandor Martin in a bout many believed he lost, yet the judges gave him the victory. Now history seems to be repeating itself. Top Rank, Lopez's promoter, finds itself in a tough spot. They have a flawed fighter who remains marketable. But the question is how long they can continue shielding him from legitimate defeats. Raymond Ford, another rising talent in boxing, joined the conversation on social media, echoing Stevenson's point. He can't box movers, Ford tweeted, adding more attention to Lopez's shortcomings. As these debates intensify, it's clear Lopez now has a target on his back, not just from fans and critics, but from fellow fighters too. Lopez, however, has not held back his thoughts on Stevenson. In a recent Cigar Talk appearance, he offered praise with a strong caveat. Shakur is a very talented, skilled, technical fighter, Lopez said. But I'm scared to get hit, scared to get knocked out in front of the world. This wasn't just trash talk. Lopez revealed he had sparred with Stevenson before and believes that experience exposed Stevenson's weaknesses.
When I push that Teo fight, I need y'all to get behind me, bro. Bro, come on, bro.
Fighting with himself.
I sparred with Shakur before. We did 3 rounds, Lopez recalled, describing it as a calculated session where each fighter studied the other style. Lopez focused on Stevenson's jab, examining how it worked as both offense and defense. It was just like work, me trying to figure out his jab, he explained. But what came next really caught attention. Does he have a good jab? Yeah, he does. But once you get past his jab, it's game over. It's food. It's lunch, Lopez said, using a metaphor to suggest that once Stevenson's first line of defense is breached, he becomes an easy target. Lopez's remarks add another layer of intrigue to the brewing rivalry.
Shakur is a very talented, skillful, technique fighter.
Yeah.
You know, can't take anything away from it. However, scared to get hit.
While Stevenson has criticized Lopez's recent performances, Lopez seems determined to expose what he sees as Stevenson's flaws. The question remains whether his analysis is accurate or mere posturing. After all, Stevenson's defensive skill and ring IQ have earned widespread praise, and whether he's genuinely afraid of getting hit or simply smart about avoiding unnecessary punishment is open to interpretation. Teofimo Lopez recently spoke again on It's What It Is with Cam and Mace, explaining why he isn't interested in facing Shakur Stevenson. Known for his blunt honesty, Lopez outlined several reasons, citing respect, past experiences, and his view of the lightweight division. He emphasized that respect for Stevenson's manager, Jay Prince, heavily influences his decision. I ain't just trying to give the man his first loss, Lopez said, indicating he'd rather let someone else take on that responsibility. While many fighters eagerly seek the chance to hand an undefeated rival their first defeat, Lopez clearly doesn't share that mindset.
We had Shakur on the F1 Formula weekend. Shakur, he said that the training, you know, he probably did too much training for that fight that caused him injuries. So a lot of these fighters kind of don't understand. It's like, yeah, you got to put in the work, right? Yes, you got to put in the miles, you got to put in the conditioning, everything. But at the same time, you also got to listen.
He also recalled an incident during the 2015 National Golden Gloves, painting a vivid picture of Stevenson's struggles after losing to Ruben Villa. According to Lopez, Stevenson's emotions got out of control in a dangerous way. He lost it, man. He wanted to go up to the rooftop of the hotel and jump off, Lopez said, his concerns seeming genuine. He suggested that this breakdown left a lasting impression on him. Lopez also mentioned Stevenson's well-known tears after missing out on Olympic gold, but dismissed that as minor compared to the earlier incident. That Olympic stuff, him tearing up and all, that ain't nothing, it's been bad, he added. This glimpse into their amateur days highlighted the deep history and tension between the two fighters.
You would never fight Shakur. Can I know why?
Cause man, like listen, not to get into too detail, I ain't trying to rat on nobody. I ain't no rat, bro. Or mice. I just you never know when you're gonna need the plug that Shakur got. So why am I gonna fuck him up?
Lopez's view of himself as a dominant force at 140 pounds heavily influences his choice of opponents. Nobody could beat me, nobody, he declared, emphasizing his status as the division's lineal world champion and speaking about defending his titles with confidence that bordered on defiance. Lopez made it clear he feels he's already proven himself, and rather than focusing on Stevenson, he's setting his sights on fights with Gervonta Tank Davis or Terrence Bud Crawford. That's why I was thinking I need a competitor, Lopez explained, indicating that these names represent the kind of high-stakes matchups he's chasing, bouts that could solidify his legacy even further.
For me at 40,
Yeah, if you was to go to 40 right now.
Teo. Me and Teo. I think Teo be going on the air and just be popping all types of shit, but
Lopez also explained why a fight with Devin Haney never materialized, placing the responsibility squarely on Haney's camp. I've tried 3 times already with Haney, and the last time they were supposed to meet with my promoter Bob Arum from Top Rank, and they never came, never showed up, Lopez said, sounding frustrated and implying Haney wasn't as committed to making the fight happen. He also highlighted how quickly Haney jumped at the opportunity to face George Kambosos right after Lopez's controversial loss. The moment they gave me my first defeat, who was quick to jump right away to Kambosos? That was Devin Haney, he added. What are your thoughts? Share them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates.
And I do appreciate also Shakur Stevenson as a fighter. You know, I would like to see that fight, but later down the line.
Fuck Shakur. Shakur's a whole ass bitch, man.
Oh man.
Shakur's a